Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
This is a mistake by Schwartz. If you want to build a Browns dynasty, there's no room for ego. He said in the beginning he wanted to build a franchise dynasty here. So you can't have an ego if you want to do that.
As always, appreciate all the voicemails. Let's welcome in Tom Withers, longtime Cleveland reporter. Tom, it's easy for people from the outside to say it's a mistake. Jim Schwartz's mindset was, I would imagine, because I've been in this position, you clearly don't view me as a head coach, so I need to move on. And it's nothing more than that. He has no problem with Todd Monken. He has a problem with people making the decision. I've been in that situation, and I felt the same way.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good read, Dave. And the caller said, he's talking about ego. Everybody's got an ego. Some are bigger than others. I don't recall necessarily Jim Schwartz talking about this dynasty here. Maybe that was a passing reference at some point. But yeah, you can understand that there were some hurt feelings on his side. I mean, he's done an exceptional job here in his 3 seasons with this Browns defense. Is put them amongst the elites, and if you want to put them in the same conversation with the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, I don't think that's too far-fetched. So Schwartz has done a really good job. What surprised me most about this, I think, Dave, is that it didn't seem like the Browns saw the possibility of this coming. When we wrapped up the season and Kevin Stefanski was fired, and clearly Jim Schwartz was identified as, if not candidate 1A or 1B, and was going to be one of the top guys that they talked to, and they actually had, 2 quick interviews with him, much like they did with Todd Monken. And, I kind of sensed at the time that if Jim Schwartz was going to be passed over for this job, that, he might want to go somewhere else. He made it very clear in the last couple of weeks of the regular season that he was interested in becoming an NFL head coach again after his one stint up in Detroit, a couple of years in between. He had some health issues. Again, revived, resurrected, whatever verb you want to use, his career here in Cleveland, his coaching career, and did a fabulous job. So, I can understand him being upset. Much like you, Dave, I've been in this kind of situation too before, where I felt I maybe have had the better resume and got passed over for a job, and that's just life, and that's life in the NFL. Unfortunately for the Browns, they go from having the momentum of the Todd Monken hiring, which, obviously was a bit of a tough pill for a lot of people to swallow around here, to suddenly embroiled in kind of a mini controversy, if you will, and now, another search for a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I thought all along, man, if he doesn't get it, he's not coming back. I know him enough to know he thinks he's really good and thinks he'd be a good head coach. And I thought he deserved that job, that shot.